Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Ask the Expert. I'm so excited to have you here with me, Patty Farmer, and my co-host, Teresa Ream. And we are really, really excited to have today's expert with us. So make sure you get a pen and paper because you're going to want to take some notes for sure. You're going to make sure you want to connect. And most of all, you're going to want to implement. Right? It's not just to listen to the value that our experts give, but really to take it to heart and think about where could you make a few changes that might be just what you need to be a game changer in your business. So Teresa, can you tell everybody about our guest today?
Thank you, Patty. Today we will be talking about standing in your spotlight and turning on your visibility with Joie Gharrity. Joie Gharrity is the founder of Joie 113, is a brand director, author, live stream host, and international speaker. She worked in Hollywood entertainment industry for 15 years and at top companies in film, television, original web content. She was handpicked by the ABC studio president to launch the first multimedia startup business for the Walt Disney Company. Oh, that's super exciting. After returning to the Bay Area, Joie was inspired to launch Joie 113. She works with entrepreneurs and creative types. She integrates her visibility strategies and tools that lead to greater influence. She also teaches inner game tools that she has coined the Love Bucket Daily Habits, which I love. Her unique approach elevates her clients to superstar status in the marketplace. Joie's maxim is it is your birthright to stand in your spotlight, get visible, and grow your influence. Welcome, Joie. So excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So let's dive right in. So, I have known you for quite a while and have really seen your brand really evolve. And I think that is really great. But what would you say, Joie, is the number one thing that differentiate you from everybody else in your industry?
I would just say that I've absolutely embraced my unique point of view. So I don't really care about trends. I don't care about logos, things of that nature. Instead, I really care about how, the teachings of that we're just a direct extension of our brand, and then stepping into that spotlight and then giving people the techniques and tools and strategies so that they can do that. Because you can't just tell people just get visible. That's just not going to work, right? Mm-hmm. So I actually have a system. It's called the Superstar Visibility Influence System, and it has five levels. And I teach tangibles of how people can get that visibility out there in the marketplace.
That's awesome.
You certainly do teach tangibles. You are one of my mentors, and I've just enjoyed every minute of it. And you do teach the tangibles every time. I have notes galore from your classes each month, and they're just amazing. Could you talk a little bit about your Mickey Mouse ear? What would that be? Yeah, your Mickey Mouse.
Yes, so there I have a tool that I teach, and it's like you want your Mickey Mouse ears to go everywhere with you. So working at the Walt Disney Company, right, and Walt is a genius. And he understood that by having a particular iconic symbol, that way his brand could travel no matter where it was, who was using it, who was wearing it at the parks, theme parks, etc. And so I teach my clients and the Prosperity Club members how to identify their Mickey Mouse ears, and then how to make sure their Mickey Mouse ears are identifiable, and then that they're on every single piece of content. So you'll see in my world, anyone out there that's viewers, you can go and look at my stuff. You'll see whether it's my Facebook group or my books or anything like that. You'll see that there is a symbol 113 with a it's like a sun, like sun rays around it. Those are my Mickey Mouse ears.
Yeah, it's so exciting. When I heard that, it's like, that makes total sense. Total sense.
Yeah, and you know, human beings are very symbolic. I mean, we can't forget that we come from, you know, generations of amazing storytellers, right? That's what moves us emotionally is storytelling. But we also love symbolism. So for instance, the pyramids, right? That is iconic symbolism, the Eiffel Tower, right? These are symbolisms out there in the marketplace. And so I also teach my clients and the members, and then I'm sharing out there that I want people to attach a symbolism to their brand so that it speaks a signal to people. My 113 is very symbolic for me. There's two reasons. One is that it equals 5, and 5 is a media power number, right? So that's a signal I want to send out there, right? I love media. I came from media, right? And I also want to attract a lot of media. But the second reason I use it too is because it's in homage to two of the greatest women entrepreneurs of all time, in my opinion. And one of them is Marilyn Monroe, and the other one is Coco Chanel. Okay. And Marilyn Monroe put Coco Chanel on the map here in the United States when they asked her, what do you wear to bed? And she says, I only wear one thing, Chanel number 5. Okay. Marilyn Monroe and Coco Chanel never met. They weren't friends. They weren't collaborators. However, Marilyn Monroe was always a big cheerleader for other women out there. And so she was leveraging her influence, right? That like Coco Chanel was already a major deal, but that just blew her up, right? And so this is my way of paying homage to women out there that I have a great respect for.
Beautiful.
Is awesome.
Totally beautiful. What is the question you get asked most, either by your clients or just generally?
You know, I get asked most probably about the stars, the superstars that I worked with. And what I want to so this second book is very near and dear to my heart, because my first book, The Red Carpet Guide to Visibility Influence, that was just me just sharing my journey, and then also tangibles of how to step on the red carpet. Like, I'm like, y'all, women entrepreneurs out there, I'm like, get out of the shadows, because it's impacting your earning power, right? So that was just that, right? My second level, which was downloaded to me 3 years ago, is the real reason why I worked in Hollywood. And because, you guys, I went back down to Hollywood 4 years ago for a second round. I was brought down there by a startup company. And I remember as I was going through that, asking myself, why does Hollywood keep calling me? Seriously, right? And 3 years ago at my friend's life celebration, I was very blue and I was very kind of hopeless because I had kind of back-to-back, I had back-to-back friends pass. Okay. And I'm fairly young, right? And so this was hitting me really hard. And I asked that age-old question, what's life about? Right? And what it did is I had a download, and it was connecting dot after dot after dot of why I really worked in Hollywood. And it was to be around superstars and leaders in the industry to learn from them so I could bring it to the masses. And so people ask me, what's it like to work with Will? Or what's it like to met Sarah Jessica or Katy Perry or whoever it was? And what I always tell people is I'm like, it's remarkable just because they were standing so strongly in their spotlight. And it's really cool to be around someone like that because it immediately gives you more confidence. But there's no difference between them or being around you and Patty, right? It's just that they have this ability, and that's what the second book's about. They have ability to take in massive amounts of love, money, fame, cars, free dinners, swag, planes that they're given to get from one place to the other. It's just acceptance. It's like allowing, receiving, and accepting love. Love is just, it comes in other forms, right? And so that's the real reason why I was down there for 15 plus years. And when I was downloaded that, I knew that this second book became a passion project of mine that I wanted to get out there. But it doesn't mean that I'm not freaking out. I am so uncomfortable about the second book.
That's where the magic happens, is
I
when
want
we're
to come
out of our comfort
Patty.
zone. And
I literally want to come out of my skin, sister.
Well, you
I love
told a
that.
story about Will Smith that I always remember, and you said that he traveled with an entourage to give him this energy.
Yeah.
And that when he came in with that, people were taken aback and they noticed, and it suddenly made them happy, and they wanted that. It just upped the ante on the energy. And I will never forget that story that you told me.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I was meant to observe is that they have an ease about them, right? And ease is just the ability to be, right? And that takes a huge capacity, though, right? Especially in today's marketplace with everything coming at everyone, the turmoil we've had, right? The social, like the technology is changing so quickly for people, right? But there's a real ease. And so in the second book, the last 3 years, I've created a daily habit system, and it's called the Love Bucket Daily Habit System. And I've beta tested and put it into play myself personally. And this has been a complete game changer for me because I'm able to allow massive amounts of love. And so I have a different type of ease about me. So what Patty said when she brought up at the front of the show, and she said, I've noticed that, things have evolved. I just want to connect that dot. It's because of these habits. I've always been an inner game girl. That's how I got to Hollywood, is I was meditating every day, right? And I talk about them in my blogs and keynotes, right? But this is a different level, right? Because I have incorporated a customized set of prayers. There's a set of things that I'm having people do, like myself. And that is what has been like leveled me off, like helped me be more at ease, even right now when my house is under renovation. Anyone out there who's going through renovation knows what I'm talking about right now.
You do have an ease to you, which I do admire. And I think I wrote something about you and Gina Estrada, that you were the Cheshire cat on the back of the couch, just chilling, and you saw everything that was going on. And Gina was like Alice in Wonderland. She went to everybody and she touched them and she asked questions. And I will never forget that you two are those characters to me.
That is a really great story. That is a really great symbolism right there of Gina, for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know it, but it was actually Joie who introduced me to Gina.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all loved Gina, didn't we?
Yeah, Gina's a bright star. And it just goes to show you, she understood visibility influence very well, right? And even after her passing, her visibility influence has had such a legacy impact. So I had a client yesterday, kind of fuss about the visibility piece, and I told her, I said, but you're being of service. I'm like, when you're more influential, when I left Hollywood for good that last time, I had to make a commitment, right? I was making a commitment to my higher power, right? And I looked at the studio systems, another reason I was down there, and to study them. And I was like, listen, Warner Brothers is just Warner Brothers, right? But because Warner Brothers' intention, just like Walt or Sony or anyone's, was to build a bunch of influence, is to hand it to their employees, but to hand it to the talent and to the divisions and to the movies and to the TV shows and everything else they're doing, right? And that actually is the core heartbeat of Joie G113, is I'm building my influence to give it to other people, right?
Absolutely.
And that's being of service. So anyone out there that's watching right now is going, yeah, but I don't want to be, it makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, you're in good company. I am so uncomfortable right now, right? Teresa, I don't want to speak for you, but I know you have uncomfortable moments, sister. Patty, I know you have uncomfortable moments, right? But we're being of service because we're opening doors for others to say, if they can lean into it, let me lean into it too for a little bit longer, because we're just puzzle pieces. And the more we lean in, right, the more we can hand it off to other people, because everyone needs a hand. Everyone needs someone else to be able to pull them up, because my mentors pulled me up. I didn't go down there with any influence, right?
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
And both
Absolutely.
of my mentors here are that's your main theme of being in service. And I feel that's why I'm so connected to both of you, because of that.
Thank you.
You're of
So
service.
Joie, thank you for sharing your project with us. I love hearing about that. I love that you're coming out with that second book. So who can we introduce you to that will move the needle or be a game changer for you in, say, the next 30 days?
Oprah.
Oh, love Oprah.
I know, like, don't we love that? Isn't how iconic, isn't it
Patty's on
funny
it.
how iconic she is? I don't know if I ever shared with you, but you know, in on the 100-year anniversary of the International Women's Day, when I was awarded the global business strategist, and I got to walk across stage with Oprah, and it was probably one of the most exciting
Wow.
thing like I ever did. And I remember going home and thinking, well, who else has won this award? Because they have like this whole thing. And obviously mine was for business. But when I found out that many years before that, that Princess Di had won that award as well for philanthropy, I have to tell you, I kept thinking to myself, well, I just like to serve others. But thinking that you did something, that you shared a stage with Princess Di and with Oprah for different things, of course. Sure. But that's the kind of stuff, like, right, that's the thing where you feel like, you know what, I was here for a purpose, and that purpose was to serve others, right? Always.
It's so true. And you know, Oprah's actually in my love bucket capacity. Now, Oprah was also, I never met Oprah, right? But we all studied Oprah in Hollywood. I mean, you know, we all followed her, right? But that was another thing. She helped ping me around. After I had this download, she helped me to expand on this whole capacity idea. So I do write about her. I do blog about her, because she has a very famous quote out there. And it's, if you're not ready for people to talk about you, you're not ready for success, right? And I do agree with that 1,010%. And I'm talking about that in the blog. But what I'm also talking about is when I read that, and then I had these downloads, and I was doing my daily love bucket habits, right? I was like, that is one side of it. But the other side of the coin is we're not brought up to take in love. We're not brought up to take in massive amounts of love. And Oprah's is Grand Canyon level. Will Smith is Grand Canyon level, right? And so it's not that people are more talented. It's just that they've just gotten their capacity to match their dreams and desires, right? And when people are putting out their dreams and desires and they're not coming true, the first thing they go to is because, of fear and rejection. I'm like, that's one part of it. I'm like, but honestly, no, it's because you just can't allow it and receive it. That's actually, I think, a bigger side of the coin, to be frank with you.
Yes, absolutely. It's the energy. It's the energy either draws things in or it repels. And a lot of people don't know that. And I think, Joie, you probably picked up a lot of that in your meditation.
Yes. So I went before my brother passed away, okay, he passed away in a tragic car accident that was actually publicized pretty much around the world because he was dating a famous MTV reality star. Okay. So this was a very tipping point time in my life, because I couldn't escape his death. Like, you turn on the TV, my brother's death was everywhere, right? And so I stopped meditating, and my entire internal inner game just came crashing down, right? It wasn't until years later where I was I was so unhappy, right? And from the outside looking in, it wouldn't look like that. My career was soaring, you know, but I decided to start meditating again and do a breathing exercise. And I talk about it in the book. And that was actually my first entry point into this love bucket capacity. I just wasn't connecting the dots yet. I wasn't ready yet, right? It wasn't until my 50s, right? And I rented a mansion down in San Diego on the beach and invited my friends to fly in. And before they showed up for this rooftop party I was throwing, I remember I was sitting there and I was watching the sunset. And I remember saying to the divine, I'm ready. Like, whatever it takes, like, let's do this. And then 6 months later is when I had the download. And then then all the house of cards. So I just share that with people out there because I want people to know that. And I do this in the book too. I want people to know that we all have had incredibly challenging heartaches that are impacted us, including myself. And that, yes, when you look at my bio, you're like, oh, she worked in Hollywood, blah, blah. But I want people to know that that was just a journey. It has nothing to do with anything else. Right. It was just
a location
I was supposed to take, but I've had a lot of things, amazing and very tragic happen, right? That were impacting my capacity. And because it was impacting my capacity, right, I was in a very kind of stop and go situation and probably making some choices in terms of even career that weren't right for me because it was filling up all my capacity. You know what I mean?
Yes. The meditation is so important. My mentor that passed away in 2020 was a self-realized yogi. So he was nearly fully self-realized, and I believe probably his death was the finalization of that. But he taught me how to meditate, and it changed my life totally 180.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's a tool anyone can do. You don't have special skills.
Right? Yes.
So Joey, what social media platform do you hang out on the most? So if people wanted to connect with you, they could connect with you.
Oh, well, for sure, Facebook. I have a group called Superstar Women Entrepreneurs, and that has like 10,000 plus members in it right now. I'm very active in other groups, my personal page, my business pages over there. I swim really well over there. But I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm over there too, and Twitter and Insta and all over the place. But I like Facebook the best because it's an emotional connection for me. And that's what I crave, is emotional connection.
I love that. So thank you, Joey, for being here with us today, for being a guest on the show and sharing your zone of genius so brilliantly. And thank you to everyone for joining us on Ask the Expert. And if you enjoyed today's show, and I am absolutely sure you did, don't keep us a secret and share us with your network. And believe me when I say your colleagues, friends, and family will thank you. So we have an invitation for you. So Joey, will you share with everybody their invitation?
About PWN?
Yes. Teresa,
okay.
Will you do that?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. We were testing you, Joey.
I love PWN.
Did I say Joey? I love it.
She was ready to take it away too. Thank you, Patty, and
Joey.
thank you, Joey, so much. It was a wonderful interview. I totally enjoyed it.
Me too.
We would like to invite you to join us at our Facebook group and connect with our guest, with Patty and I, and to other amazing women that are part of the Professional Women's Network of the Monterey Peninsula, known as PWN, and now includes members locally, nationally, and internationally too. We would love to have you join us and share your expertise with our audience. You can go to www.facebook.com/groups/Monterey, PWN Monterey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. We will see you next week.
Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you.